Okay, guys, so welcome to the next level session. Just a reminder, all these replays are posted to the members area. We had some great content last week, how to build your own messenger bot with Earnest, the how to roll your own property boosts. Those leads came in really affordably. So if you want to roll your own property boost, that session was pretty good. And then we did calendar scheduling services with KV Core last week. That was also, I thought, pretty juicy, Kelly, right?
Yeah, no, that was good stuff.
So yeah, what I wanted to do today, I've been taught, we have this kind of need for listings everywhere you look still. And I try to, like, you guys know, I try to push this off and say, just generate more buyer leads or generate more homeowner leads in your market, because some of them will own a house and you'll get listings, but that's kind of a cop out, right? So it feels like every few weeks here, we've kind of come in and tried to come up with a new angle for generating a seller lead. And I wanted to try something that I've done in the past here with you guys today, if that's cool. And as always, I'm just looking at the, just a little feedback. I guess this is Rich, right? Rich says, between your ads you posted and Property Boost, we have been buried with leads. That's really great to hear. Rich, I hope you have the follow-up set up okay, your campaign. I hope you're sending those people an automatic text. If you're not, let me know, and maybe I'll go look in your account after this. I want to make sure that you're getting the most out of those leads. Okay, so yeah, so let's try this Sell Your House Fast campaign. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to run an ad that focuses on keywords that people might be searching for if they want to sell their house, like right now. And up front, I'll mention that these keywords are going to be very competitive, and there's not going to be a lot of clicks in your market for them in general. It's not super high volume, and you're going to be competing with the wholesale investor crowd, because all of these guys are running these kinds of ads. So if I do something like sell my house fast, right, that would be a pretty motivated keyword. And what are we going to get? I don't want to go to these guys. I don't want to cost them any money. You know, that'd be kind of mean. But look who's advertising. We buy your house directly. We pay fast cash. Real offer now. This is a wholesaler, local house wholesaler. And then this may be, I'm kind of curious, riserealestategroup.com. This might be a real estate agent. And the point I'm making to set this all up front is that you'll probably be the only agent doing this. And you know, I can tell just by looking at this is a Carrot site. On Carrot is the big real estate investment company that does this for real estate investors. Oh, look, they're doing this too for agents. Not to plug them, I have no idea how good the service is. But all of these guys are going to be using a similar approach. And one of the things they're doing is, and I hope they don't ever see this video, and they won't. One of the things they're doing is they're sending people to pages like this that have a ton of clutter on them, right? And part of the reason they have a ton of clutter like this is because the company selling these pages wants to kind of show something really cool, or they just don't know any better. And they're kind of, and these pages do convert. I'm not saying they don't work, but there's opportunity to maybe improve on this process and go head to head with these guys. And also position yourself as, hey, I'm not trying to get you under market value, which is what wholesalers are trying to do. They're trying to work out a great deal for themselves. You're going to, you know, properly market and broker the deal so that the person gets top dollar. So, all right, I hope that's set up okay. Is that all right, Kelly? Do you have anything to add on that?
No, I think that you hit it spot on. And I think that that's your main competition in this, because there really isn't. I was just talking on one of my review sessions the other day about this, is that there's, you know, you could think of 100 ways right off the top of your cuff to get buyer leads, but seller leads are a whole different beast. And a lot of it comes down to the fact that there's not a lot of resources, not as many resources for sellers as there are buyers. So the things that you have to think about are, you know, what are the keywords that people are using when they're thinking about selling their homes? It's things like decluttering their house, getting curb appeal. So even if you have to go off the beaten track for keywords, think about what your sellers are doing when they're getting ready to sell a house. It's not always the same thing as when you're buying a house. They're not thinking about the financing part of it. They're thinking about what they need to do to stage their house.
Yeah, it's a really good point. And some of that stuff probably would work better on Facebook. I'm going to focus on Google today, but you're just reminding me that, yeah, there might be opportunity to do some content focused ads on Facebook that get to them earlier stage. So maybe it's not a tomorrow thing, because we have a special guest tomorrow, but that'll be another session, guys, I think, doing what we're doing here on Facebook. Okay, so the idea here is that we're going to go right into Google, and we are going to hit up specific searchers of these keywords. All right, so I'm going to actually run the campaign now, but before I do so, I need a landing page. And if you guys remember, a few weeks ago, we did this before the Bubble Pops seller leads campaign. That has generated 2 leads for $100 each. I'm not sure that's worth it, but at least it got a little bit of traction. We're only spending 10 a day there. But the landing page for that was this. And I think what we'll do here is build out a similar page for this Google traffic, but I don't think this is exactly relevant. So that's our first step, is to build a page to drive the traffic to. And knowing that most of the traffic is going to be coming off of keywords like sell your house fast and other things like that. So I got logged out of the account. Let me just log in. And the other thing here, we do need to be prepared to pay a pretty penny for these leads too. That's another important point. So I'm going to go into the lead engine, and I'm going to click build landing page. And I'm going to try to collect the email and phone first, but I want to redirect people to the address capture page after they do this. So I'm going to build this, a little involved, but I'm going to build the address capture page first and then redirect a regular lander. So let's just keep our notes, the steps here for you guys. So step 1, build address capture lander. Step 2, build lead generation lander that redirects address capture. Step 3, run Google search ad. And step 4, run Google display ad. So this is just my thinking here. These are what we're going to do today. And if we have time, we'll build out the conversion stuff. So, okay, so our address capture lander. This is the regular. And then I'll just build another, I'll just do this again. I could have, so we'll just open another window. And I'm going to do address capture on the left side up top here, like so. And then I give these all a hashtag of home valuation in our system local, just so they all have the same. Anytime somebody is doing something that takes them to the home valuation tool, which is what these address captures do, I'll just put that in there. And then our custom background, I'll just use this background for both pages. I'd like to keep them consistent. Let's see if there's kind of like this one better in general. So then we're going to do step 2. Enter your address. And we'll explain what's going to happen. You'll see an instant estimated, instant computer estimated value. But an agent will be calling you, will be contacting you shortly to work on getting you a real human opinion, something like that. All right, so then I'll save this. And what this becomes our thank you URL for the first page. So let me see if there's any.
You're layering them. You're just layering landing pages.
Yeah, we're gonna go from one to the next. Because, you know, I've been doing this flow where we, you know, you can go straight to this off of the ad, but then if they enter their address, remember, it just goes through the regular process, the home valuation process, but you don't always get the information from them. I'll show you what I mean. So you don't always get the lead's contact info. And if I'm logged in right now, it might not work because I'm already logged in. But you know how it asks for the name, email, phone after? What this does is you'll get the name and email. You get the name and email first, then it'll go here and it won't ask them for the name, email, phone. It'll just take them straight to the value report.
Because they're already logged in.
Yeah. So I see your question, Rich. I'll get to that in a few. Okay. So now we have this link. Now let's build our other page. This is where the traffic is going to go. So I'll set the background so it looks the same. And we'll call this sell house fast. Okay, that's just my hashtag. Yes, please contact ASAP. Sell your house fast. Get a professional opinion of value in the next. Do I want to say in the next 15 minutes?
I would say something that is focused on based on fair market value, based on not wholesale prices.
Market value.
And then you could put in the bottom, you could say not a wholesale price.
Yes, I'll do that. So a real licensed Florida real estate broker will be in touch within 1 business hour. The business hour is kind of my little tactic for, like, it sounds cool, like they're going to be in touch in 1 hour, but if they opt in at like 1 a.m., then this gives the agent on the other side an hour after they start to follow up with the lead.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So that's 1 business hour to let you know what a buyer might pay for your house today. This is better. Should I do something like this is better?
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to separate them from the investor crowd. Instead of, I don't know how to communicate that really. I might do that in the ad.
Yeah, give me a second. It might be. Maybe not wholesale price versus fair market, something like that, or differentiate, what's the difference between a wholesale price and a fair market value?
Yeah.
Or maybe, do you know the difference? Do you know the difference between wholesale and fair market value? Some sort of teaser in there.
Retail buyer might pay for your
exactly.
And
then maybe not wholesale.
Yep. Trying to get you to sell too low.
Yeah. We're trying to lowball you.
Trying to lowball you. Excellent. Lowball you. And that's that's an interesting headline. Don't get lowballed. It's actually got a little sexual connotation to it, which plays really good in marketing, even if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm going a little off beaten path there, but yeah, don't get lowballed. Get a real opinion of value. That could be an interesting ad too, but I'll leave that where it's at there before I get myself in trouble here. All right, so URL after login is going to be the link
to step 2.
Yep, so I'm going to copy that link. Where did I put it? Put it in my landing pages folder over here. That's the biggest pro tip when creating these landing pages, guys. I think we said it before, but definitely save them into a bookmark or folder every time so you can go back to it. So they opt into this page and then they go to that second page. I can require phone or not. I guess I'll just require it.
I just tend to get more dead leads that way. I don't get as much good information when I make it mandatory.
For sure. I just wonder here if, because they want, the number, you can enter a fake if you want. Here, why don't I do this? I'm just gonna put 3 dots and leave that blank. Let's do that. I know they're going to do a fake anyway. I don't need to say it, but let's try it. I know Delia does want the phone number if she can get it. So this is our page. I'll share this with everybody if you want to reference it later. Please don't log in. Rich asks, could the address section flow into the property value section of profile? I think it does. Oh, yeah, it should, Rich. I got to look into that. Rich is saying that if the address section flew into the property value section, then it would generate the value report and email it automatically.
Well, it does, but it's not. It's going to give them the computer generated one versus the human touch, which is what we're promising them here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to try to get to the instant auto reply to these leads, and the instant auto reply, in my opinion, is thanks for your request at property value. On a scale from 1 to 10, what condition would you say the property is in? Like something like that, just to get them talking. But we'll get to that in a second. So now we've got our link to drive the traffic to. So grab that. And now the good stuff. This is what you guys paid for today.
The price of admission.
Price of admission. So here we go. So I'm going to leave this open house. She has to turn that off. Okay, so we're going to click new campaign. Click the blue button. Hit new campaign. I'm just going to do this, create a campaign without a goals guidance. We're going to run search only. We can skip these boxes here. And we're going to do sell house fast. And I'm going to get rid of these, but if you're not getting a lot of traffic, you can try adding them in. This is just, I say this every time. This is Google like trying to get traffic from lower tier sites that they're associated with. Not necessarily a display network, but for now, I'm just going to leave it straight search campaign. Then we're going to do location options. People in or regularly in, not showing interest. This is important because they'll try to show the ads to people who may have Googled your area, but they don't live there at all. So people in or regularly in your location. And then the location, I have to enter another location, and I'll just do my what do they call it? MCA or DMA. I'll do the whole area here that we service. You would just pick whatever it is for you, if it's cities or zip codes. So I'll click target, we're gonna go the whole region. All right, and then our budget, totally up to you. Now, I expect these clicks to cost about 10 bucks a piece. They're not going to be cheap. So I'm going to just set it to 20. We'll do conversions as our focus, but I'm not going to set a target cost, because if I set this too low for per lead, I might not get any traffic at all. So I like to just leave it like this. And then what a lot of people will do is they'll come back later and change it to a targeted conversion. I usually just leave it at the conversions and let Google figure it out. You are going to need, by the way, and we have training in Next Level, you are going to need to set up your conversion tracking pixel for Google. That is in the Google Ads training section in order for Google to measure the conversions. You can do that from the tools wrench, but just for today, I'm not going to do that. That content is inside of Next Level. So we're going to click Save and Continue. If you want, you can add a call extension to have people call you. I'm going to leave that off. That is an option. Ideally, you use like your KV Core Smart number or something that you can track, but I'm going to leave that off now. In this particular case, it might be a cool thing to do, because if people are anxious to sell their house fast, they might just want to call and talk to somebody. So that might be something I circle back on and add to this campaign later. And then the ad group name will just be Sell House Fast Keywords. And then I'm going to just type products and services. I'm going to just type Sell House Fast. And what Google will probably do, if I click Get Keywords, it'll probably give me some goodies, right? So cash home buyer, sell house for cash, sell my house fast. And this kind of, not bad. Now, I'm going to weed out sell fast. No. Fast cash offer. So probably I need to sell my, this is a really good one, right? Sell house fast for cash, sell home for cash. Want to sell my house. I'm going to take out quick sale home. So you just go through these and just think about the intent of the person searching for this stuff. We buy houses for cash near me. Not sure. Sell my house quickly. Companies that buy houses for cash. That seems like a pretty good one. Now, one thing to keep in mind, guys, is that some of the clicks you get here are just going to be the wholesalers in your area just clicking on Google. I just did. So the reason I bring it up is it is going to take time before this yields business in most cases, and I've run these campaigns actually for investors in a previous life. So there will be a little bit of traffic and you'll get leads here and there, but it's not instant results and it can be a little pricey. Now, Google's telling me that it's going to be $3.97 per click, but that it's going to cost me $94 to get the lead. So don't always believe in this. I'm not sure this is accurate, but if I got this lead for $94 and I was able to get in touch with 1 in 5, it might start to get interesting, right? If 1 in 5 turn into a listing. But just keep in mind, it can get expensive. Now we might find that it's only 20 bucks and it's a home run and then we're really good to go. This is also probably going to fluctuate based on market conditions too. So right now, people who want to sell their house fast probably aren't having much issue doing that. They can probably put a sign outside, honestly. Should I say that here, Kelly? Is that blasphemy?
No, it's not, because they still end up, you know what? It's anybody can get an offer on your house, but it's a whole nother game to get them to the finish line. That's what I always tell them.
Sure is. And it's a whole other game to get them to pay.
Yeah.
What an expensive mistake, not hiring a realtor in some cases.
That's crazy nonsense.
Yeah. Anyway, so save and continue. So that was the cost of admission. There wasn't too much to that, but that was kind of important. The sell my house fast keywords. I'm sure you guys can think of other things. And the more you can do that I didn't do, right? I just kind of typed it in like Google feed me stuff. You might be able to come up with things that, that the investors aren't thinking about. So I think it'll be worth investing that time to brainstorm that. And I might try to do that for members too here soon. Now, this has been driving me absolutely insane. It'll either be up here or down here. Google's now going to give you this option to switch back to text ads. In another Google account I have, it's down here because they're trying to make you do this like jumble, whatever ad copy that to me makes no sense and is really hard to work with. So I'm going to switch back to text ads. And this allows me to control the order of the language in my ad, which I think is very important. So there's our link to the ad, to the URL. That's where we put that in. Now, what I can do is dynamic keyword insertion. We're going to get fancy here, but I'm going to do a bracket. Make this bigger for you guys. See this little squiggly? If I hit that, then this keyword insertion pops up and my default text will be sell your house fast, right? And hit apply. But if the keyword that the person typed in isn't too long, if it's less than 30 characters, it'll actually insert whatever they searched in Google right here. Did I explain that well? So
say it one more time.
All right, so if I'm on Google, dynamic keyword insertion means that if I'm here and I search sell my house fast, like that, these guys are not doing dynamic keyword insertion, because if they were, the first line in their ad would say sell my house fast. It would be exactly what I typed in.
Oh, okay. So it's like text for text.
Yeah, it'll insert what the person, and the advantage to doing that is that because the ad matches what was on their head, there's a better chance they're going to click your ad.
So there's definitely some psychological value to that.
Yes, this is a little bit more advanced. It's medium to advanced.
It's marketing. That's definitely advertising and marketing. So no, yeah. That's a great tip.
Yeah. So professional Google AdWords people all know about this. Basically, you can insert the keyword into the body of the post, but if it's what the person typed in is too long or doesn't work, they'll just put sell your house fast in there instead. So that's what it looks like. So sell your house fast. Get a pro opinion of value now. Not a lowball offer. I wish I could fit like these other clowns or something like that. So
or you could say not a lowball price opinion or lowball wholesale.
not a
value.
investor scam.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, let's use the word scam. It's kind of a strong language. It's emotional. So let's do it.
Gonna catch them. It's gonna be catching.
Let's try it. All right. And then our description is, I'm going to borrow some of what was in here. And there's a reason I'm using this. Look, Rich, I still have your, from last week, I still had your URL in there, my clipboard. So I'm going to try to, for the description of my ad, I'm just going to kind of put the stuff that I've already written.
Now, is that gonna affect any of the keyword search with any of that? Just curious.
This, no, it doesn't affect what the person typed in, if you mean.
Right. Yeah, I'm just wondering if it affects it anywhere else.
Yeah, no. But okay, I just need to shorten it. One hour. You can do the dynamic keyword insertion here. Again. So I can do it again there in the first description line. So, you know, there's some advantage here. They know before they click that they're going to be talking to a real estate agent. And there's some
Right.
advantage to that when you're running your ads. You know, it might be more expensive because people don't want to deal with a real estate agent in some cases, but if they do know that they are, then you're getting a higher quality lead. So, okay, so this is my save and continue. And, you know, best practice would be to make a couple of variations of your ad, but I usually just do one and then I go back and change it after. Totally, you might want to take some time and just clone it and change up the language a little bit. You can see here, you can get one more click at the same budget if you create a site-like extension. I'm going to ignore Google. Sometimes they're doing things that help them more than us. Look, they're trying to get me to use their responsive, but I'm happy with this for now. So let me see here. I'll give you guys a peek at the finished ad, like a screenshot. And what's that? I'm just going to beg for a little, for a little bit of feedback. Are you guys finding this useful? Is it too advanced or just right? Let's see if I can type this in here. Here, I'll just make it big. You can screenshot the screen if you're watching a replay, but that's that.
Question from Adele, is the KV Core phone number free for us to use? If you're referring to the smart number, every agent that is a KV Core user gets access to either their office smart number or their team smart number. You can always go purchase your own if you want, but you do get an assigned smart number that you share with your office.
Yeah, now be careful, right? You don't want to advertise your main company smart number with an ad like this.
No,
because it will round robin through your office. So you want to make sure it's your own smart number if you use that. 1,000, that's a big one. Because I'll just go into that a little deeper. The only way that the person will know, the only way that phone call will always come to you is if it's somebody calling from a number that is already in the system and attached to you as a lead.
correct.
I have the hardest time with that, explaining that.
Well, you know, the way I explained it is like it's a smart number, and basically it's a computer. It's not a landline or a cell phone, and it knows things that a computer can know. Things like it knows your phone number, it knows your leads' phone numbers, it knows other leads in other agents in your office's number. But if it's a new lead that comes in, one that's not assigned to anybody, then it's going to come in as a new lead, and it's going to be routed however your broker has it set up. And there's only 3 ways to route it. They can be rotated to all the agents, which is usually how it is. Could be forwarded to another number. So maybe you've got an actual receptionist that sits at a desk and answers the calls, or it could be forwarded to one particular agent in your office. So maybe you have it go to the broker and they vet those leads out there. But other than that, I love the smart number, but I will tell you it was for reasons like this when you're using it on specific marketing that you don't want those leads routed to anybody else. You're better off just going and get your own. And, you know, for the cost, it's, what is it, like $27 a month, something like that?
Yeah. If you're spending a bunch of money on ads, it's worth it. Yeah. Yeah. So there was a request, and it was a good request to see this whole kind of thing, you know, how it looks from the customer's perspective. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. So they're going to Google Sell My House Fast. They're going to see your ad right here. So this was, your ad's going to look like this, just in the Google search results. They are going to click and they'll come to this page. You're going to enter their email. Say no, not to try to call me. Yes, please tell me my value. They're going to click that. And then if I did this right, it should redirect to the address page here in a second. Step 2, enter your address. Cool. And then once that's entered, it should redirect to, now it shouldn't ask me to log in again. It should redirect to the report that gives the opinion of value. Kelly, I've been bugging them. This takes too long. And the reason it takes too long is because it's trying to create the report, but it's not telling the person that they need to wait like 10 seconds. You see what I'm talking about?
So I wonder if we should add that under the step 2, under where it says you'll see the instant computer estimate. Maybe we should put a little ... and put please be patient. It's a computer compiling your report.
Yeah, very good point. In the footer line, right?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. Wonderful, wonderful point. But we should still put something there after they submit that says, hey, just hold on. It takes 20 seconds.
Hang tight. Yep.
Now,
hang tight. We're making your report.
By the way, guys, we have done a few things, and this is going to come back on me. I know there are some markets where our evaluations aren't great, but this is way better than it used to be. I know that we've been tightening up these valuations tech-wise, and this is actually almost there, which in this market is impressive, you know, because the actual real market values tend to be trending ahead of everything. So that's that. That's the customer experience. And then they get here, they can call the agent right away. They can chat with the agent. They can email, right? So pretty cool. That's our funnel. Now, just lost my browser. One second. That's that one. Oops. Now, the second thing I wanted to do, once I find where I put my, I have so many Chrome browsers open. It's a mess. The second thing I want to do is try to run this as a Google display ad. So we did a Google search ad where somebody's searching, but I thought it might be cool to run Google display, which is the banner ads, right? You guys know what banner ads look like. I'm just going to go to Zero Hedge. It's the one I always use for banner ads. It's my favorite wacky entertainment site. But over here on the right, these are Google banner ads, some of these. Like this Shutterstock ad is a Google banner ad, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to run ads across in your local market across sites on the Google Display Network, I'm going to do that too. And I'm just going to do a Sell Your House Fast, right? And let's try that as well. So go back into our Google Ads. We're going to go to Display Campaigns on the left side. Actually, I don't think I needed to do that. Oh, I could. Okay. And then I'll click plus responsive display ad. No, I take that back. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I get lost sometimes in the Google dashboard here. We're just going to click the plus up top like so. You can see our Sell House Fast down there waiting to get approved. And then we're going to click new campaign. And this time I'm going to choose create a campaign without guidance, and then I'll choose display right in the middle. And then we'll choose the top one, display campaign. You can actually show your ads in Gmail, which is interesting if you want to try that. I'm going to just do it for display. And then we'll call this display Sell House. Continue.
I find the ones that are in the Google, the Gmail, they end up in your spam file a lot. They show up at the top, kind of like those annoying ones. They end up in promotions.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Not a great avenue.
Yeah. So here we go. Enter another location. So I've got my location here. This is more settings. Okay, I don't need that. Average daily budget. We'll set this one to 10. just to see if it works. Again, I'm not going to set a target CPA. This looks, they're changing, like Facebook, there always changes around. This definitely feels different than it did a few days ago. Now we're going to start to do the stuff to run our ad. So I'm going to put the URL for the landing page here. Still had it in my clipboard. Wow, that was awesome. They started to create the ad really quickly on the right side based on the copy of the page. Now my images and logos, you can use this tool right here to kind of upload your logo and various assets. I think that we have in the past done this, so I should be able to just, for time's sake, grab some of the previous images that we've used. Yes.
I think it'd be a great idea to use that same image that's on the landing page.
Yeah, it would. So that it matches the ad when they get there.
Things that look familiar, people tend to gravitate to.
Yeah. Oops. I want to set this as my logo. There we go. And then just for time's sake, I'm not going to use that image from the page, but I can go back and add it. But that is a really good suggestion, Kelly, just for, because I'll have to go figure out how to
Upload it.
I have to go view the source and like save it and then upload it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have the upload button there under the images, but
yeah. Yeah, I can upload it here. I mean, I have to get the actual image off of the back of the web page. Off of the landing page.
That's where I screenshot stuff.
Yeah. So I got a couple images here. I don't know if it's going to want more, but let's save. So you can see over on the right, it's starting to make it. So sell your house fast. Ready to sell your house. Leaving Tampa Bay. Something like that. If sell your house fast, see what a buyer might pay today. So Google, we're basically just feeding them a bunch of different headlines, long and short headlines. This is great. They gave me a description. They lifted the description off of our landing page automatically. So that really was convenient. Put your business name in there. Okay. And just like that, Google will spin up a bunch of different versions of this ad and just show it to everybody in your market. So let's see if it works. I don't, I'm not 1000% confident this will work, but it's worth a shot, right? So click next. Fix errors in my ads. There's always something. They want another square image in the red here. So they want another image they can use for their square placement. So I think this one will work.
So correct me if I'm wrong here, Ryan, but so when it shows up as a banner ad, it's not guaranteed it's going to be in the vertical position. It might be square, it might be vertical. It really depends on how they view it, whether it comes in off of their mobile device, their smart tablet, if they're looking on their desktop, what they're looking on, where they're looking. That's why they want multiple photos in there.
Exactly. Google, yeah, they're spinning it. And then the publisher, these are called, Zero Hedge is an example of a publisher who's pasted the Google code on their site. So the publisher might say, oh yeah, I want a 160 by 600 block and a 300 by 250. So when you land on this site, one of their publishers, Google will show the ad that fits that spot. The other thing that Google's doing, which is really cool, is that they're automatically varying the headlines and the descriptions so that the one that performs best is the one that they show over time. Because
Google.
Yeah, they can measure, right? Remember, we have our conversion pixel installed, so they can measure the conversions. They know what's working, going back to our website. So now, one thing to watch out for, let me see if this will allow me to save this. Is a lot of these clicks off a Google display could come from mobile, and they could also come from kids playing in apps accidentally. And I don't remember, I haven't done it in a while, but there's a way to exclude those particular clicks. You have to Google it. Like if you're worried about it, I haven't been that worried about it, but it's a lower tier of traffic, but you're also going to only pay a few pennies or a fraction of a penny for each click. Now, if you want to quickly get rid of, say, all mobile traffic or bid less for mobile traffic, you can go to the devices and click change bid adjustments, and you have to decrease your budget for that channel by 100%. And I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to get rid of the mobile traffic just for now. And if I don't get a lot of traffic at all, then I'll start to add it back in. But I'd like for somebody to just see this ad while they're chilling, looking at the computer, and then click and come through to start.
But that doesn't include tablets. So you still get a lot of traffic from iPads, smart tablets, things like that.
Yeah.
Or are you going to exclude those too?
I can. Yeah, let's exclude them. The thing that I'm worried, I've seen my kid click them when he's got my phone at the diner. You know, I've seen him clicking other people's ads accidentally. So you end up paying for those, but.
Well, I have pickle fingers, so I am always clicking on things I shouldn't be.
Yeah. So that's how you would do a display ad. Not super high hopes for these, but you might find that, and we'll learn, and I'll let you guys know the results. You might find you can get a seller lead out of these here and there. So that's 2 ways to do it on Google. Again, driving all the traffic through this 2-step process. Now, if I start getting a lot of traffic off the Google ad, but I'm not getting people to opt in here, then I'll go back and change this, because that means something's broken here. So the first step in these things is to see if you can get the traffic coming off of these high intent keywords. And they should be pretty high intent, the ones that I chose. And if you've got a high intent keyword that's getting clicks, you're not getting leads, then you can start to work on changing the landing page till it works. So that's my presentation for today. I'll answer Rich's question. Richard's asking, if you build a series of landing pages themed for different days of the week, could you use Google Paid Ads or KV Core to manage? No, unfortunately, no. It's a pretty cut and dry service, and that would fall under custom. And keep in mind, on Google, you're kind of hitting the same people around the same main keywords anyway. So the way to do that would be to just see which works best. Just run a bunch of different variations and see what gets you the cheapest leads. So over time, so you can see here, we've kind of whittled ours down to a new construction and an income properties campaign. And
but I noticed that you've got the local area in there, and that would be probably the biggest keyword to focus on, right? Is the location?
Yeah, you can, but you can also not have the location in the keyword at all. If your location targeting the people nearby.
Okay.
The people who live in the area, but yes, in this case, look, we've only got 4 keywords, and we're getting plenty of traffic. We're Florida homes, Florida real estate. That's it. I could probably add more, but the reality is that for our budget, it's not super high per day. There's plenty of traffic. And what's interesting here, if I was going to go back and optimize this, you can see the one that's getting the highest conversion rate. Pretty kind of by far. I mean, this is 20% higher than the next one, is the St. Pete, Florida real estate with a broad match, and it's getting a cost per conversion of $8. So I could turn off these others and only have this one coming in. I do think that the local broker is happy with the volume. I don't really want to mess with this campaign right now, but that's how you would optimize it. You go back later after, hundreds of clicks, and you're like, oh, obviously I should turn these other ones off, and now I'm getting, cheaper. So I'll turn it off after I talk to her, but that's that. And speaking of her, Delia, who is the broker owner of Forever Florida Real Estate, I have finally convinced her to come on tomorrow. She is our special guest. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, she's going to come on. She's been a conversion user for a long time, since back in the day. And I talked to her probably about a year ago into moving over to KV Core, maybe a little more than a year ago. And I didn't give her much attention in the beginning. Maybe I should have helped her more. But finally, she was like, hey, I need to get leads flowing through here. And that's when I started using her as the guinea pig for all the stuff we're doing. And they're just killing it. It's really working out well for them. So Delia's going to come on and just talk about not only the story of how she got the leads flowing, but she's doing some very good things for working the leads. She's got somebody calling them. She's got she's always looking and managing them herself. It's a really cool story of how a boutique brokerage, who has less than 20 or 30 agents is working the system. So that'll be tomorrow. Cool. Rich is asking, could the increase be from phrase match or? Yeah, that's interesting. I would have assumed you bring up a good point. Rich is saying, could the increase be from the phrase match versus the exact? I would have thought the exact would have been cheaper. Because this is exactly what somebody's searching. If you do phrase with the quotation marks around it right here, then they could be searching homes in, St. Pete, Florida, real estate price under 200, a longer tail thing. But for whatever reason, we get a higher conversion rate from the phrase.
Well, don't you think you're bringing in more people? I mean, you're catching a lot more flies that way because it is not exact. I always feel like with exact matches, you're narrowing down your opportunities. At least that's the way it looks like.
Yeah, but to that point, we've gotten 713 clicks from that versus 334 from the exact St. Pete, Florida homes. Mm-hmm. I just think the conversion rate, I don't know why it would be higher here than here. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know. But sometimes you can't, it's kind of like rhetorical. You can't answer. And that's what's beautiful about this technology. Look, Google's figuring it out for us. We don't need to know why.
That's true. It's like my microwave. I don't need to know how it works.
Yeah, I don't know.
Making my baked potato. I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a really good point. All right. Well, that is it.
This was a good session, Ryan. I think this was for, for somebody who's not super techie like me, by my own admission. I think this is a good one to follow along, and if you're doing this at home and you're doing it step by step, just go back and take it one step at a time.
Yeah, good advice. Yeah, and this can be overwhelming. Somebody's saying here, hi Rachel, welcome. Just started. She's asking if there's a separate Facebook group for the next level. I've actually had that thought. There isn't right now. Right now, we have the main mastermind room, and you can post in here, but I am totally aware that this is not as ideal as using a Facebook group. So we'll think on that. It might be worth doing a separate group. And I know that it's easier for everybody to interact on Facebook because you're just kind of always in it. Yeah, so a good question. I don't know. It's food for thought. We'll think of it. I see Adele's question, so I'm not understanding the round robin. Let's see. Yeah, so that was it. I hope you guys found this useful. I will definitely in future sessions be letting you know how this went for sure. Anything else from you, Kelly?
Nope. My big takeaway, even if I don't master the Google conversion, I just like the two-step process with the landing page. That's genius. I just think that's genius.
Well, I'll give Annalisa credit. I had done it in the past, but she reminded me of it the other day, and it really is good.
Well, and I just think that it's, ultimately wherever you land them there, I'm almost thinking, and in my head, I'm also thinking, would you could run one getting their name and address and all that, or their first name and their email. And then if you had it click over to like Facebook Messenger and maybe send them over to your Facebook Messenger to chat. Yep. Sometimes people like to talk on Messenger a lot more freely than they do in just even, via text. Sometimes they just respond because it feels like you're protected under the bubble of Facebook Messenger.
It's a really good point. So you could have them do the first step and then take them into Earnest Spot, for example.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I feel like sometimes people feel a little bit more free to interact when they're, chatting either with a bot or, just even into Facebook, where they can go and look you up. They can find you and they can go, are you really a real estate professional that's going to give me a value opinion of my property? Or is this just a scam? I feel like they have an opportunity to do a little bit more research on you, which if you've got your business page set up, they should be able to do that.
Yep. Yeah, there's a little more trust in Facebook than just blindly clicking on Google.
That's exactly what it is. So I don't know. I guess it depends on what your strategy is and your growth system. So, but still lots of good opportunities. So I'm gonna have to thank Annalisa for that one. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'll let you know how this goes, guys. Very soon we need to do the Google local. We need to do a session on that. You see these guys popping up top. So we'll get into that soon. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time.
Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.